What's up, everybody? This is Jazz Fuzz. I hope you had a good Memorial's Day. Honor the men and women in our service who fought for our country and continue fighting our country and protecting our country, and the ones who are in heaven or the ones who are no longer here. They fought brave to protect this country. So I want to talk about, I have two different cool subjects. One is why people stop believing in God. Now, unfortunately, God got nothing to do with people not believing in Him. It really has to do with the human beings on this daggone earth that made people stop believing in God. For centuries and decades, since Jesus arose from the dead and went to the right hand of the throne of God, mankind has lost their sight of who God is and what He represents. When the 11 disciples, because Judas betrayed Jesus, went and spread the good news about Jesus, they all got killed, except for one. And I think he lived like 100-something years old. And he told the prophets that was going to happen in my generation and many generations forward. For a good amount of centuries, or should I say decades, people did follow God and Jesus' word and everything about it. But a shift have happened. And what happened is people started exploring other different types of religion. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, except Jesus and God made it very clear not to worship idols or put another god before Him, which many people did around the world. Now, there could be many reasons why people don't want to follow the Christianity. It could be their culture. It could be, their family treat them like the black family of the sheep, because they follow God and Jesus. There could be many different factors why the world started to disappear of Christianity or following God and Jesus' life. Once the white man came to America, when I was reading this book, it's a really good book. It's about the Native Americans and their eyes and what they experienced. And it's called The Wisdom of the Native Americans, the collectible in addition by Kent Newburn. I believe I hope I say his last name right. It's very, very good. And the book is an eye-opener. But in that book, Native Americans know a God, but they call Him the Big Mystery. And they call Mother Earth Mother, right? Or they call God Godfather as well. And so the Native Americans knew who God was. They didn't know who Jesus was, but they knew who God was. And when the white man stepped in, they present Jesus to them. And what made the Native Americans turn away from, Christianity is, at that time period, is that the white man said that Jesus said we need to do this and that, but the white man is doing everything the opposite, pretty much doing what the devil said you should do. And that's why Native Americans just like the hell with it. Now, today's society, there are some Native Americans who are Christians or Muslims or whatever, because everybody has a choice, right? But the reason why people stop believing God is because of human beings. Humans, for some reason, feel like they gotta put God in a box. And God is a spirit. He is the oldest spirit ever, which means He's much wiser and much smarter and more intelligent than the rest of us in this world. Now, most people will argue and say, well, how come, God doesn't show Himself? He does. There are moments where you might come across to a person or an animal acting real strange. and know everything about your life story. You never met this person from a can of paint. That be God. To me, that's God. God can shape and mold to different things. To animals, to people, to women, to children. God can mimic all kinds of things because we are an image of him, right? But he is a spirit at the nevertheless. So I feel like there is always an events and miracles where people do actually talk to God, see him, actually dream about him, and etc., etc. Now, most people will argue that say, well, if God does exist, then how come he doesn't show himself? Because God want to know, do people love him unconditionally and naturally? Because even back in the Bible time, God did show himself consistently to the people. However, funny enough, with all the miracles and stuff that they saw back in that time period, they still didn't believe in God. And God really showed himself. And Jesus rose from the dead. And there was still some people didn't believe, which is nuts. Now, most people say, well, why not now? Why we don't see these type of miracles happening now? Oh, we do. We do all over the world. If you read about what's going on in the world today, there's all kinds of miracles are happening every single day. It's just, unfortunately, there's so much noise in the world that you can't really read or hear about it because there's so much going on. But if you take the time and slow down, you will find and discover that God is moving his works all over the world. And miracles are happening constantly. Some people even see Jesus and the Virgin of Mary multiple times. I know Mexico was a big one when they see the Virgin of Mary over there. In certain different parts of Latin America as well. So, human beings are the reason why people don't believe in God. God is always here and always exists. My friend Kaden showed me a video about these bunch of men were trying to say that the Bible is nothing but an illusion. That this is just a manipulation and control by other human beings to control other human beings. One thing I think is funny, human beings have a very strong fascination of controlling other people. To me, that drains the hell out of me. I don't know why you want to control everything about a person's life, their thoughts. That's exhausting. And I see why God wants us to have the free will to do whatever we want and desire. Because it doesn't exhaust him because he is a God. But to his eyes, it's like, well, I need to figure out, do these children that I created on this earth, do they love me authentically or is it officially? Like artificial. And that's what he's trying to figure out, right? Well, he knows who's what. But that's what God said. I'll give you the free will because I want to know if your heart will go straight to me. That's what I want to know. And so my friend Kaden, he gives me these videos about these men saying that the Bible was all about the zodiac and this, and it's all a dream, and we're gods. And I'm sitting here like, y'all crazy. But some people actually believe this, and I come back with my part 2.